A few days ago, I did uh, a video on what a financial planner does for you, and I think that or why you should go to financial advisor, saying he can help you with goal setting and things like that. That was a micro view. So here let me give you a macro view. A financial advisor is supposed to sit with you, talk to you about your finances and help you manage your finances, manage your risk, and make sure that you achieve your goals. Now when I put it this way, it means that a person can go to a financial advisor whether he has got money or whether he needs money. Now typically whenever we talk of financial advisor, we assume that you have money and you want to invest, but need not be true. It could also be possible that you don't have any money and you borrowed and you need to come out of that crisis. That is also wealth management, in the sense that if that is not done, you can never create wealth. But largely this kind of advice is now, I don't know whether it is very much available. I know somebody who does something called Rectify Credit. So this is Aparna Ramchandra. She helps people with credit problems. I've never spoken to people with credit problems. I don't even know how it is to have a credit problem. So largely we talk about a taxation advisor or a financial advisor or a planner or an RIA or an MFD, largely from the wealth deploying thing. So we talk generally about goal setting and tax planning and estate planning, making a will and asset allocation, right? Things like that, which are more from the I have money, I must grow and I must conserve and grow it, rather than I have no money, I have borrowed, how to get out. That is equally important, because if you don't complete that process, let's say you're 22 years of age or 27 years of age, you have a lot of debt, you had some coronavirus problem in the house because of which all the expenses were put on your credit card, you have all that to pay, there is nobody to whom you can turn. So people find themselves in such situation. That time also they could go to a financial advisor, and a financial advisor should be able to help you, saying, okay, consolidate debt, pay this debt first, pay this debt next, total up like this, right? So that kind of a thing, he should be able to help you. So whether a person calls himself an investment professional, a relationship manager, a wealth professional, a financial planner, or a tax professional, all of them do more or less the same thing. But there could also be a credit professional who could be a credit rectifying agency, credit consolidation agency. These are the names that you should know if you need to advise somebody or direct somebody to a credit situation where the person does not have a great civil score and now needs to set things right. So that also is what is financial advice, but that is not very popularly well known. The other thing that you should be able to do for you is your tax planning. Unfortunately, not many financial advisors are equipped to do tax planning. In such a case, if the person does not know tax planning, he should tell you or she should tell you that they don't understand tax planning, and they should go with you to a chartered accountant who is a tax practitioner and ask him about tax laws, in the sense that set on, set off, how the income of a minor is clubbed into you, all those sections of the Income Tax Act which impact you as an investor. So not very many financial advisors are equipped to do this. So apart from managing your investments, the tax implication or the tax planning management, Pattu and I did an article saying why you should be putting money in debt funds and not in bank deposits, and Pattu was good enough to create a calculator. So in Free FinCal there is a calculator. So a person should be able to understand you. So he or she should be able to do your goal setting, etc. He should be or she should be interested and understand the markets, how the markets work, how conservative you are, whether you can put 75% in equity or whether you should have 75% in debt, whatever, how to accumulate the income rather than converting current income to capital gain and paying lesser tax is a very sensible technique, but not all financial advisors will be able to do that. Then making your will, which is your estate planning, is something which is very important, because nobody else pushes you to make a will. Not your family doctor, not your school teacher, nobody pushes you to do this, except, but it is the job of your financial planner to push you to make sure that you have documented how your assets should be used. If you are in business, it's even more important that you also talk about how the business assets should be used, right? So all that. Then taking care of your insurance requirement, which could be car insurance, health insurance, travel insurance, all those things, taking care of that, and planning your long-term care, wherever you are going to live, who is going to look after you during your old age, whether you need to make a living will. In India, it does not seem to be valid to make a living will, but if it works, it works. So make it and keep it ready. Maybe 5 years later it will work, maybe 10 years later it will work, and maybe you will die after 20 years. So at that point of time it could work, but at least have it in writing. That is what we all learned from the Aruna Shanbag case. If you don't know what is the Aruna Shanbag case, please go and Google about it. I have myself written about it, right? Then finding out how you want to break it up between your children, how do you want to leave it, how much do you want to leave it for charity. All those things will have to come in before you make your will. So make sure that all these things. So if a financial advisor does all these things, he has done his job very well, and that's what one expects from a financial advisor. Thank you.